Hello, guys, and welcome back to another live stream in our channel. And wow, what a performance! What a performance! And yeah, it was a game of two halves. And can you kindly tell us where you're watching us from? And also, while you're at it, tell us where you're watching us from. And what's your overall opinion of the game? It's a game of two halves, and the first half. Let me just talk about first thing, the lineup that Enzo Maresca selected. Will that be the lineup that I will select? Maybe close to that. I think he did not make any variations. I thought the way he started with both Reece James and Gusto, it was expected. And the omission of Enzo Fernandez is what shocked me. But that kind of lineup is what I generally expected. A very tough game, a way better to draw than to lose. How are you, Tyrone from Bomet? Thank you very much, and it's nice to hear. And hope you're also doing well. A captain's performance. Yes, a captain's performance. Yes. So when I'm looking at the lineup, the huge omission is the missing of Enzo Fernandez into that lineup. But Maresca was able to actually change and actually adapt the team the way he started. The game started poorly. I thought Chelsea came into the game poorly. I expected that since there was heavy rotation in midweek, I expected Chelsea to come with this game with a lot of aggression. Fofana was responsible for both of the goals. I think the first goal, he dwelt so much on the ball and it created that level of chaos. Whenever you play the Premier League, you will never be given that amount of time on the ball. So him really having the ball and being reluctant with it and making that error, I think that was one area where I was disappointed in him. He's supposed to be one of Chelsea's best centre-back, and he made a mistake there, giving Oltemade the chance. The second goal, again, you can see it. The Newcastle already know how to handle set pieces. They know very well that Chelsea are one of the greatest teams when it comes to playing the opposition team offside. So whenever the ball will be played to Chelsea, what you'll notice is that they will try to stop one player from running away. And in that time, it was Caicedo who had the opportunity to actually play that offside trap, but he was unable to do it. The first half was quite lethargic. When you look at the possession and the statistics in the first half, you realize that it was a 50-50 when it came to the statistics. But generally, Chelsea were battered in that game. I have to give credit to Robert Sanchez, who actually kept Chelsea in that first half. Without Sanchez, probably it's a 4-0 or even a 3-0 in the first half. Live from Embu. Thank you very much, James, and it's nice to see you, Chef James. So Sanchez manages to keep Chelsea in the game, and he actually manages to save Chelsea time and time again. He kept on claiming crosses from corner kicks. And what I didn't like was the amount of set pieces that we were conceding, because I know these kinds of teams, they thrive on the set piece. But what can I say about the scoreline? Am I disappointed? First of all, I can say that when you compare to this fixture in the prior seasons, this can be considered as a point gain without looking at the overall points in the Premier League table. This is a point gain. Last season, Chelsea lost 2-0. The previous season, Chelsea lost 4-1. The season before that, Chelsea lost 3-0. So this is a ground where Chelsea have been going and they are losing. And it looked like that was what was awaiting Chelsea in this game. But the way they were able to, the way Maresca was able to galvanize the team in halftime was quite remarkable. The rest given to Enzo has helped him a lot. He really looked lively. Yeah, I think the rest that was given to him was quite great. And the first half, it's already 2-0. Everything looks so bad. You probably don't expect Chelsea to even get back into the game, and you're shocked and you're asking yourself, what is going to happen? Is it another game like that? And as I had said in the group chat, I said that if Chelsea were to get something from this game, the early goal needs to come. And boom, Reece James manages to come up with a fabulous free kick. That's a goal that you don't generally expect. It's a goal that brings the team on. So Reece James scores that, and then we go into that assist that Sanchez gave. What an assist! And Sanchez has been so good in these long balls. He's been so terrific when it comes to actually managing these long balls. And what happened is that he's able to play this long ball over the top. Jao Pedro is able to control that ball, he's able to beat Shah, and immediately he's able to do that. He's able to turn the defender, get to the ball, and score. And that was lovely. And I was like, now this game is there for the taking. And I think at Chelsea after that, they stopped applying too much pressure, which I was disappointed because I expected them to try to stick it on and probably get a third one and see the way Newcastle crack, because Newcastle have not kept a clean sheet this season. But the back post defending is still a problem during set pieces and crosses. Yeah. And this leads me to one player who I need to talk about, and that was Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto started this game with a lot of poor energy. He kept on falling down. He kept on clinging to himself, and he wasn't getting injured. You are relaxing there, and the referee is not playing it. And he kept on getting out-muscled by Gordon. In fact, that is what happened even towards when you look at the first goal. So Gusto's physicality was a problem because Gordon kept on causing all manner of issues to Malo Gusto in that half, and that really messed up Chelsea to some extent. And I really had to say that, because I do think that Gusto would really have done way better. However, I think the introduction of Enzo Fernandez in the game really changed everything. The minute Enzo came into the game with the energy and his creativity, he kept on picking the ball in the pockets. And when he kept picking the ball in the pockets, he always looked to thread the ball to the wingers. He looked to thread the ball to the other wingers. So, guys, before even I continue, if you're watching us, please like this video. Please. Like this live stream. You see, when you like the live stream is when it's actually pushed to more people. So I'd appreciate if you're watching, just take a one or 2 seconds, just like the live stream, and then we can continue. Gusto also needs to rest for now because he couldn't offer much defensively, even offensively. Yeah, true. Gusto, out of the entire team, I think Fofana, he had a very poor game. Garnacho picks great position, but end product is to be improved. Hopefully it does. Yeah. This is one thing about this game. I was so frustrated with Garnacho. Garnacho kept on receiving the ball at promising positions. And this is what I said after the midweek game against Cardiff, that with Garnacho, you expect two types. You expect the Garnacho who's a deadly finisher, the way he came on against Cardiff, and you expect this Garnacho where today he kept on kicking the ball over the bar. And we're like, no, don't kick the ball over the bar. Try to test the goalkeeper, because I don't generally think that that Ramsdale is a better goalkeeper. Secondly, I think if Gittens was probably in the team, I think Gittens would have. I don't think Gittens would have scored. I don't expect him to have scored, but I do expect Gittens to have created a lot of chances. He would have made a lot of crosses. In some areas, like Garnacho receives this ball, just try to make a cross, just try to make a cutback. Another thing that I was frustrated with was Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto seems to have been pocketed by Lewis Hall, and it was so terrible to watch. And whenever he got the ball, he constantly looked to play the pass to Garnacho. There was some times when Palmer was even making the pass down the right, and I expected him to look to try and play the ball down the right. But I do understand that his stronger foot was in his left foot. Yes, as we continue to watch, I've reminded you that you kindly subscribe. So that is what I noticed in that game. So there is the issue with Garnacho, especially the chances he got, because I think after going 2-2, if you have scored the second goal in the 66th minute, then I expect that you have the opportunity to actually score another goal in the 70th minute. And I think that not applying maximum pressure and taking chances, because immediately you score a third goal, then you're turning the game around. You're putting panic into Newcastle, and you probably win this game. Godfrey. I think sometimes we need to allow Neto and Garnacho to switch, because both can play both wings. Yeah, to some extent, maybe. Yeah, I think if you switch both of them, then you allow Neto to try and whip in crosses from the right, and Garnacho to try and whip in crosses from the left. I think that is also something that you can do, and then you switch both Fernandez and Cole Palmer. We really missed Estevao, a direct winger with some end product. Yeah, yeah, to some extent, these are the kind of games where you bring in Estevao towards the last minute and he probably tries to get something from you. So if you're watching us, I repeat again, kindly look to like the video. When you like the video, we push the video to more people and we are able to get more people joining into this live. So again, when you look at the Premier League table, Chelsea are now 7 points behind Arsenal. And as we are still not reached the magical 30 points. We are still not reached the magical 30 points. It's the 17th game. We have 2 games to play. And yeah, when I look at this fixture, I'm like, Manchester City came here, they got a 2-2 draw. But overall, in the first leg of the Premier League this season, the thing that has destroyed us are unnecessary red cards. Unnecessary red cards have been our biggest problem. Number 2, I don't think we approach games quite seriously when it comes to actually trying to limit the opposition. When it comes to them actually going out in their, especially in their away games. I've noticed this. We don't try to approach the game with a lot of vigor, with a lot of effort, with a lot of energy. We don't try to do that. We are looking to start the game quite slowly. We are looking to start the game without applying the maximum pressure that is generally needed in this situation. It's fine now. December is over. Yeah. That's what happens to Chelsea in December. That's what happens to Chelsea in December. How many games have they won so far? They've won one game. Lost to Leeds United, drew to Bournemouth, drew to Newcastle, and then the final game, which is going to be Aston Villa at home. So classical December for Chelsea, and a lot of points have been dropped. Around 7 points have been dropped, and this is just Chelsea classical in December. So hopefully, and then in the new year things might change. I swear every December sucks. Yeah, that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem when it comes to actually the way Chelsea look to try and gain points in December. So anyone in the chat who'd like to join and air their comments, I'm going to drop the link in the chat so that you can probably join and say something that I might have really missed. So if you're in the chat and you'd like to join and air your comments, I've shared the link here. So I'm going to try and go through the comments because there's a lot that is going to be said. And one thing that I've said is that Reece James did something incredible towards the last moments of the game. Reece James managed to come, win that game, win that ball, and then set Chelsea in a perfect position. Because if Reece James does not make that minor touch on Barnes, then probably Barnes scores and we lose this game. That's how it is. And do I think Gusto would have done that? No. I don't think Gusto would have done that. And that is why you need players like Reece James. You need experience to know how you're actually going to get something in that situation. Again, guys, I've said I've shared the link. I've shared the link here. If you would like to join, click the link and join. Though we need to be proud because last season, this wow, I do agree with you. This last season, this is where we lost the momentum and got off completely into a disaster. Yeah. You probably last season, probably if it is 2-0, you probably lose 3-0. But again, the fight in the second half. I've said it was a game of 2 halves. If Chelsea started the game like that, they probably win this game. The game was there. The game was there to be won. But you still have quality in the team. But I don't like the approach in the beginning of the game. You don't wait to go down so that you start high, but you try to be up throughout the game. After signing, you see what's happening to us, pushed for second place. I don't want to talk about the league table. I just want to see what we can get in December, get this over and done with, then cross over to the new year, and hopefully we start the new year quite well. It's always not so bad. It's always not so bad. In the first leg, you can make these errors, but don't fall off so badly. Don't make it more than 10 points. A huge point gain from Chelsea today. Maresca administered CPR at halftime and resuscitated the patient back to life. Yeah, I think Maresca had to go very hard on the boys. He had to go very, very hard on them, because I do think that they did not actually give their all in the game. Yeah, I see Sanchez has now more assists than Florian Wirtz. That's by the way. And for now, we can see that the team is really growing up. Yeah. You see, these are the type of moments that you really need within the team. Sanchez is still lacking in confidence. No, I don't think Sanchez lacks in confidence. I think he played well. You see, this is the kind of season where this is the kind of season where you're like, yeah, the goalkeeper is not at fault. Like, there are no games where I think we have said that, yeah, Sanchez has had a terrible game here. No. We've not had that. But there were seasons where you are like, oh, Sanchez is poor. So far, I said that at the moment he's in my top 3 for Chelsea's player of the season. That Newcastle goalkeeper is substandard. No wonder your Arteta could not get rid of him. Couldn't wait to get rid of him quickly. Yeah. I said you have to test Ramsdale. That's why I was so disappointed with Garnacho. You have to test him. Aim the ball at him. He is not a competent goalkeeper. Put pressure on him, attempt shots. That's what I always say. The only way you can score, even in the first half. Why did we allow the entire first half to go without Chelsea having chances? Look at the statistics. Newcastle had 5 chances, 5 shots, and all those shots came in the first half. Chelsea had 4 shots, and all those shots came in the second half. If Chelsea would have had shots in the first half, then probably the game would have panned out quite different. I don't agree with someone saying Sanchez is lacking in confidence. Yeah, true. Yeah, he doesn't come up to take. No, Sanchez played well. I saw. Look at the goal that João Pedro scores. He actually gets the ball. Even the one that he gets the free kick when he looks to play the ball and Newcastle win it. He always gets the ball and is looking to start those quick, rapid counter attacks. I'm seeing no one is joining, so I don't know. Sanchez kept us in the game. Halftime, otherwise, halftime in the previous season would be 4-0. Yeah. The game would have been over. The game would have been clear and over. So, Woltemade managed to score a brace in this game. There was also a situation where there was also this kind of situation here. Let me just share my screen. There was this kind of situation here where a lot of people are talking about. I have seen Goldbridge saying that this is a penalty. No, this is not a penalty. This is not a penalty. This is a clear shoulder to shoulder. It's not a penalty. I don't know why people like to create these kinds of things. This is clearly not a penalty. This you can even see Chalobah has obstructed Gordon from getting to the ball, and he actually gets a foot onto the ball and is able to wash the ball out. So it's not a foul. It's not a penalty. I don't know why people are trying to say that it's a penalty. It's not one. Yeah, I'm looking to read your comments here. Arsenal fans are talking about Chelsea being title pretenders. You're supposed to worry because I think that Arsenal might not be top in the league by the end of the year. Caicedo and James were class as usual. I do think that the minor errors in the first half costed Chelsea that game. The minor errors in the first half. That is a real man's strength. Yeah. You just do a shoulder push and then you knock the player over and you are good to go. If you had limited pockets, which 2 or 3 players from Newcastle would you bring to Chelsea? My God. Yeah, maybe Lewis Hall should have stayed, but he cannot be second to Kukurea. and Woltemade was good, and probably even having Tonali coming in to deputize. Tonali is way better than having Lavia, because Lavia is also the one who's making us weak, because he's the one who's supposed to play alongside Caicedo in these tough games and allow Reece James to play at right back. But what he does is that he generally disappears in such kinds of situations. So I'm really trying to gear, but Garnacho, oh my God, Garnacho, that was bad. That was bad. That was bad. Another thing is that people are talking about Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is back from injury, and I think Maresca, the way Maresca is using him down the left is actually damaging Cole Palmer. I don't think when the way you're using Cole Palmer in that left-hand side is not putting Cole Palmer where he's actually strong. And you look at the game where he scored the goal in the Everton game, where was he effective? He was on the right. So why do you try to play him on the left? You see, these are the kind of problems that I have with Maresca. He keeps on making this mistake. When you put Palmer down the left, you're making him ineffective. When you play him down the right is when you make him effective. Even when he brought Enzo, I thought that he would push Enzo to the left. No, he still pushed Enzo down the right and pushed Palmer down the left. These are some of the things that annoy me with Maresca. I need the Reece James last-ditch tackle. He could have come up and taken the ball. No, he couldn't get the ball. I think Barnes is quite fast, and it was during the last stages of the game. So I think Reece James handled it quite well, considering even the energy levels in the team around that time wasn't quite well. The explanation was clear that it was side-to-side challenge. That's why the penalty wasn't given. Yeah, that was a side-to-side challenge. And I don't really understand why some people are trying to make something huge out of this. You don't have to make something huge out of this. Yeah, so I do think that is that. I know some people are now going to get that thing to try and push that narrative. I think when I look at the lineup, I think Maresca made the right decision with the lineup. That is a lineup that majority of us expected. But Gusto had a poor game. We made some silly mistakes. And I've always said this. We always shoot ourselves on the foot, because that first goal should have never happened. We should have never been in that position to concede that first goal, especially earlier on in the game. We shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. Maresca has ushered the players back to try and motivate the fans. So yeah. And one thing that I can say is that I don't know why people keep on talking about this penalty. There is no penalty in that. There is no penalty in that. Garnacho really bored me with the way he dropped a lot of challenges. I'm seeing Arsenal fans talking a lot. They're talking a lot. The game is not over. The game is not over. The game is not over. You are the one who are clear in the top, and now you're just 2 points behind Manchester City. You dropped points and Manchester City bypass you. What a free kick. Yeah. What a free kick by Reece James. Exemplary, world-class free kick. If you're watching us and you've not liked, again, I'm asking you that you can, if you find value in this and live stream, kindly like that live stream. Maresca is a genius. Playing Cole Palmer on the left, he knew that Newcastle prepared for him on the right, so he wanted to confuse Newcastle. I generally think he played him down the left because he tried to use Gusto, and he expected that Gusto, being a right back, will most likely try to come towards the right. So that is the thing. And again, Gusto is not quite effective in attack. But with the spaces available, I hope Bonanote would have added some creativity. Yeah. But why would you bring Bonanote and Enzo Fernandez is on the bench? You see, maybe when he brought in Andre Santos, I think rather than bringing in Andre Santos, he would have brought in Bonanote for Palma, and I think that generally improves the team. So, guys, seeing nobody is coming in for any comments, so I think that will be for me. That I can say that's a wrap. So it's been 2-2, 1 point shared, 1 point gain. When you look at this fixture last season, it was so difficult for Chelsea to actually get something. So, guys, once again, thank you for joining us in this live stream, and see you in our next video.